Hey guys, this is Al Morenton with MyFitLife. Today we're going to go over the 10 Commandments of Vibrant Health, and actually commandment number 7 of MyFitLife's 10 Commandments of Vibrant Health. So commandment number 7 is buy containers and Ziploc bags to store your healthy food in. Okay, so really, really important. So you need containers for food both at home, to store in your refrigerator to keep your food fresh longer, and then containers to take with you on the road so you have stuff to eat, healthy stuff to eat, so you could achieve your long-term goals and maintain those goals after you've achieved them, right? So a couple of things before we get into the actual containers and stuff like that is, number one, you have to have containers, right? And then number two, you have to prepare food that can go into those containers, okay? Number three, you need to actually put the food into those containers. And then number four, you need to actually take the containers with you when you go on the road, either when you're going out to have fun, going to work, or whatever, right? So you always have healthy snacks, healthy meals with you, and you could be successful with your health and fitness goals. Okay, so all of those things, and then also you need to actually, number five, pull the food out of those containers and put it in your mouth and friggin' eat it, right? So all those things need to come into place. 5 different things need to come into place in order for it to be worthwhile for you. At first, when you do this, you're gonna mess up sometimes, and you're gonna not eat the food that's in the containers. You're gonna forget the containers with the food in them at the house. You'll take stuff with you, and you'll forget to eat it, and then you'll bring it home, and you'll waste it, and all this kind of stuff. And you'll be thinking like, man, I'm wasting a lot of food, but you waste a lot of food anyways, most likely, and especially when you go out to eat and all kinds of stuff like that. So don't worry about wasting the food. You got to keep on doing it, putting the food in the containers in order to develop the proper habits, all right? Same thing with like buying vegetables and things like that. I bought vegetables, and I would buy like a 1-pound bag of spinach and, a couple other things, and the friggin' bag of spinach would go bad in my refrigerator before I would eat it, and it was like, what, but I was like, well, it's a sort of a waste of money. I'm letting all this food go bad, but I was like, okay, in order for me to get used to eating vegetables and, raw vegetables, green smoothies, whatever, I need to keep on buying this stuff and until I get in the habit of eating it. I'll never get in the habit of eating the vegetables if I don't buy them, right? So I just continued to buy them and buy them and buy them, and sooner or later, I started to eat more and more of them until where like a pound of spinach, that's like 1 or 2 smoothies, nowadays. So it's really cool. Same thing with the containers. You need to just keep on using them, even if you find yourself throwing some food away sometimes or whatever, and wasting it. It's gonna be for your benefit to keep on doing it. You're not just all of a sudden going to be like, oh yeah, I could do this now. It's not going to be like that. So you need to just get in the habit, do as many of those steps as you can every single day, right? Develop new beneficial habits. All right. So now we'll get into the containers themselves. There's a variety of different containers, obviously. These days, plastic is like an evil villain, but don't worry about that too much. Just make sure you're getting food grade plastics. They all leach a little bit into the food, but the food grade ones leach less, everything except for glass does, metals, everything. So don't worry about that too much. If you're eating healthy foods and you're storing them in your own stuff, it's going to be healthier than anything you get if you go out to eat somewhere, right? So don't worry about that stuff. Don't let little things like that hinder you, okay? Worry about the big rocks. Those are little like grains of sand, okay? We're worried about the big rocks, like actually preparing good food, putting it in containers, taking it with you and eating it. That's what we're worried about right now, okay? Get in the habit of doing that. So these ones, these containers right here, it's the set that I got. I could actually get these if you guys are interested in them. But there's I think it comes in like 4 or 5 different sizes. They fit inside of each other, just like those Russian dolls. And they're really cool. It's glass container. The lid itself is plastic, and it just snaps on, and it's pretty. It has a seal around it, so it's tight. I've had these for a few years now, and I use them all the time, and they've lasted a long time. And it makes you feel good because they're glass, right? Um, there's other containers of that size, obviously, that are plastic that you could use as well. We have a ton of those in our kitchen. The bigger containers, either glass or plastic, whatever, you could use to put veggies in. I have some collard greens and some kale in here. So I just put it, wash it, whatever, put it in here so I could just grab it, break it up, throw it in the smoothies, and make smoothies real quick. So this is what you do. You wash your vegetables. If you need to chop them up or whatever, you chop them up. You throw them in containers. So it's just as easy to open up one of these and grab some, whatever it is, and it might not be something for a smoothie. This is like a smoothie box. You don't have one for snacks where it has a bunch of different vegetables in there, or just carrots, just celery, whatever. And but you make it so you just open a lid and grab that stuff, and maybe eating some celery with some raw almond butter or something. You make it just as easy to grab that and get that as it is to open a bag of chips, because that's the whole thing, right? When you the snacks, the bad snacks, the processed food snacks are they're convenient. So you need to make the healthy food convenient for you. So you have things like this in your refrigerator. There's compartments in your refrigerator too, but doing things like this really, really will help you out. Okay, just having a few of these with different vegetables and things like that in there. So also, this is what I put my green smoothies in. Okay, I usually put them in mason jars, just because they're glass, and it's easier to clean a green smoothie from glass than it is from plastic. And you could use, there's narrow lids, like this is a wide mouth jar. It doesn't really matter, but just these are really cool. I also put different things in here, like I'll throw my MSM powder in here. I'll throw other things. It's cool to throw supplements sometimes inside these things, because sometimes, like, my MSM powder comes inside of a plastic bag, right? It's the best MSM powder made, but for some reason they put it in a plastic bag to ship it. So it's supposed to be non-toxic, all that stuff, but I grab it, I pour it in here. This holds about a pound, and I bought, the bags are a pound, so it's really cool. So yeah, these things will go a long way. And then another thing is the repurpose stuff too, right? So this is was a 16-ounce jar, or is a 16-ounce jar. What it had coconut oil in there, and I just I used it. I'll obviously just washed it out, and then I could put stuff in here, like put different supplements or herbs or whatever in here, and then I'll whatever I decide to put in here. And I have a label maker, and I'll just print out a label and put it here, and maybe even put one on the side too, so I could easily know what's in there. And if worst comes to worst, get a Sharpie and do the same thing, right? So it's really, really cool, really, really awesome. And then so another thing that I do is, how are you gonna keep food fresh when you're on the road if they're in these containers, right? So what I do is I have these ice chests. Okay, this particular ice chest is my smoothie ice chest. Okay, so I usually just carry green smoothies or other kinds of drinks. I don't usually carry food in this one because it's so small. But I'll have a block of blue ice, right, in there to keep the food cold, and then just put the jars in there, obviously, right? So this one holds like two of those, and there's other jars that I have where it'll hold 3, But this is a technically a couple servings, so just 2 jars is a few servings of green smoothies, And then you could get bigger ones, like, so there's ones, I have one that's a little bit bigger, and one's a little bit bigger, depending on how long I'm going to be away from home, and if I want actual food with me or not, whether I'm doing the 21-day reset or not. There's all kinds of different reasons that you would want more or less food with you, right? So it's really, really cool, really, really awesome, and it's key to have this stuff. Doing these kinds of things right here, like having these containers, putting the food in them, preparing the food, putting it in there, taking it with you, opening the jars up, or the containers up and pulling the food out and eating it. All those are habits that you need to develop in order to achieve and maintain the results that you're looking for. Okay, so I haven't seen anybody that doesn't do this kind of stuff be successful for the long term. Anybody can be successful for the short term. We're talking long-term success, and this is one of the keys, one of the little hacks, the lifestyle hacks that help you to be successful with less effort. All right. So again, Al Morenton, owner of My Fit Life, thank you, and have a beautiful day.